All right, grade 1. So today we read a short story in the Your Turn book, and you know that this week most of our stories are about different insects and how some of them are similar and how some of them are the same, right? Okay, we learned that some bugs have around 6 legs, and some of them creep, means they walk with their legs, and some of them also have wings that fly, such as ladybugs, such as bees, flies, okay? And some of them change. Like, for example, a caterpillar is like a worm like insect that later on, as we said in class, it wraps itself into and rests in the larva, right? And then it pops out or becomes another insect called a butterfly. Okay? So today we will learn, and we also took that the genre of this week is a fantasy, because the bugs here are talking and they're friends and they go out and they're doing things that can never happen in real life. Okay, so the title of this week's of today's story is called Eve and Pete, and we know that here that the words that we have this week have long E sound that can be made by magic E and E, by E double E, okay, and EA. So Eve and Pete, okay, that's the title of our story. Eve and Pete were pals. They flew and flew high and low. They had so much fun together. Okay, so here we have two bugs. One of them is supposed to be a girl, which her name is Eve, and one of them is supposed to be a boy. His name is Pete, and they were pals. So another word for pals is friend. Okay, so Eve and Pete were pals. They were good friends. They flew and flew high and low. Flew is the past of fly. They would fly high and they would fly low. They high up in the sky, and then they would flow low near the plants and flowers, and they had so much fun together. Okay. On page 2. Then one day Pete said, "It's getting cold. We need to find a tree. We need to sleep." "Let's look for one," said Eve. Okay, so one day while they were having fun together, Pete said, said is the past of say. What did he say? He said, "It's getting cold. It's cold now, and we need to find a tree." Because that means the weather is changing. So it's starting to get cold and they need to find a tree. Why do they need to find a tree? So they can sleep. So what did Eve, okay, and this is Pete's opinion. This is his point of view. He thinks that it's getting cold and they need to find a tree so they can sleep or rest. So what was Eve's point of view? What did she say or think? She said, "Let's look for one," said Eve. Okay, so because the weather is changing, Pete thinks that it's getting cold and they need to find a tree so they can rest. What is Eve's point of view? She says, "Yes, let's go look for one." They spotted a huge tree. There were lots of bugs inside. "Hi, stay with us," the bugs cried. "You will be warm here." So while they were looking around, they spotted a tree. Spot means to see, or they saw a tree. Okay, so they spotted a huge tree. Huge means something that is very big, enormous. Okay, they spotted a huge tree. There were lots of bugs inside. So while they were looking for a tree to rest or sleep, they found a big tree, and inside the tree there were lots of bugs, plenty of bugs inside. So what did the bugs say? The bugs said, "Hi, stay with us. You will be warm here." So the bugs told Eve and Pete to stay with them so they can also get warm. Okay, that was the bugs' point of view, that Eve and Pete should join them or stay with them so they can all keep each other warm and stay away from the cold weather. Let's see. Page 4. Eve and Pete slept in the tree. One warm day, the bugs woke up. It was spring, so Eve and Pete said goodbye. They flew up to the sky. Okay, so did Pete and Eve rest with the other bugs? Yes, Eve and Pete slept. Slept is the past of sleep. So they all the bugs slept together in one big tree. And one day when the weather started getting warmer, they woke up. When did the bugs wake up? They woke up and it was springtime. As you guys took in science, that spring is one of the seasons when the weather is starting to get warmer and the sun is starting to rising more, and there's plenty of rain, so the flowers can start to bloom and plants can start to grow. So Eve and Pete said goodbye to the other bugs and they flew up to the sky. Okay, so you can reread this by yourself after the you can read. You can stop the video now. You can read the story again, and then we can check the answers together. Okay. Let's see what the questions say on page 100 and I think 90. I'm sorry. Let me just check the page. Okay, 194. Oh, no, 190. Yeah, 3. Okay, so it says reread the story and circle the words that answer each question. Write the word. So the story characters are, remember, the characters are the people or the animals that are in the story. Okay, so you're gonna choose one of the words at the bottom and then you're gonna write the answer on the line. So the story characters are bugs or trees. The answer would be bugs. Okay, the story is about 2 bugs. Their names are Eve and Pete. So here the answer is bugs. Pete said they needed to sleep. Pete thinks that they need to sleep because it's starting to get colder. Okay, the bugs said then they found a tree and the other bugs said stay with us or go away. The bugs said stay with us. Okay, so number 1, the characters are bugs. Pete said they needed to sleep. The bugs in the tree said stay with us. When spring came, Eve and Pete, did they stay or did they flew away? They flew away. Springtime came and it got warmer and Eve and Pete said goodbye to the other bugs and they flew away. Okay, they flew away in the sky. So that's page 193. These are the answers and I hope you answered it correctly. So now we're going to go and look at page 194. What's on page 194? 194 is context clues. Remember, sometimes when we read a sentence in a story or a detail in a story, there's usually a word and then it tells you the meaning of the word, okay? Like it says here, context clues are words that help you figure out or understand the meaning of a new word. Okay, so look for context clues in the same sentence or nearby sentences. So a context clue is when there are words in a sentence that tells you the meaning of a new word. So where can you find them? It's either in the same sentence or the sentence that is near it or nearby sentence. Okay, let's see. Use context clues to figure out the meaning of the word in bold. Bold means the letters are darker, okay? Fill in the circle next to the word's meanings. All right. There are many kinds of bugs, but all insects have 6 legs. Okay, so this is the first sentence. There are many kinds of bugs, but all insects have 6 legs. So the word that is in bold print is darker here, insects. So it wants you to look in the sentence to find the meaning of insects. There are many kinds of bugs, but all insects have 6 legs. What do you think insects mean? Bugs or legs? Of course, bugs. Okay? So you can circle that. Number 2, most spiders are harmless and won't hurt you. And here the word that is darker or in bold print is harmless. Most spiders are harmless and won't hurt you. What do you think the word harmless means? That is safe. It says harmless and won't hurt you. Won't means will not hurt you. So do you think harmless means safe or dangerous? Of course, harmless means that it's safe, because something that is harmless won't hurt you. That means it's safe. But dangerous is something that can hurt you. Remember, we took the word danger last week? So the word dangerous comes from danger. So harmless means safe. Some caterpillars have bristles or short hair. Some caterpillars have bristles or short hair. What do you think bristles mean? Eyes or hair? Hair. Okay? So that was our lesson today about context clues. And these are the answers. Bugs, safe, and hair. Okay, for the last page there we will practice the skills. Okay? It says here, we talked about point of view, right? So point of view, again, is the sentence that the author gives us in the story to tell you what the characters think or say. Okay? So sentence number 1 says, the author told us that Eve and Pete had fun together. The author told us that Eve and Pete had fun together. This is a clue that they are. So in the story on the first page, if you go back and reread it, you'll find that Eve and Pete, it says here in the story that Eve and Pete had fun. So this shows you that they are pals. They are good pals, right? Because friends, when they spend time together, they have fun. So a clue means a sentence or something that shows you to help you understand the idea. So a clue is a sentence given by the author in the story to tell you what kind of, to help you understand it. So them having fun together shows you that they are pals. Number 2, the author told us that Pete is cold. What sentence in the story shows us, what clue shows us, the author told us that Pete is cold. Okay, so Pete is one of the characters, that he's cold. So this is a clue that Eve and Pete need to. So when the author gave us a sentence and told us that Pete is cold, that means this is a clue that that the bugs or these two need to sleep, right? Because sometimes when the weather changes, you remember we say that animals change their behavior sometime to adapt with the change of weather. So sometimes like bears, we said that bears and other mammals, sometimes they hibernate when the weather gets cold. They sleep. Remember? This is something that some bugs also do. So they find a tree, and that means it's starting to get cold for them. So to continue to survive or live, they need to sleep. So since the clue is that Eve and Pete need to sleep. The author told us that the bugs said, "Stay with us." So when they were looking for a tree, they found some bugs. What did the bugs say? "Stay with us." This is a clue that the bugs are warm. Okay, so the bugs, when they stay together, they keep each other warm and they rest. They sleep till the weather gets warmer, and then they come out in spring and they fly away. What clue did the author give at the end to let you know that Pete and Eve were no longer tired? Okay, what clue? At the end it says that the weather is warmer after one warm day, the bugs woke up. It was spring. So Eve and Pete said goodbye. They flew up to the sky. Okay, so when did the bugs wake up? When it got warmer. Give at the end to let you know that Pete were no longer tired because they slept throughout the cold weather. So it shows you that they all flew away. They woke up and they said goodbye and they flew. So they slept enough. They are awake. So they flew away. So these are the answers. Number 1 shows you that they are pals. Number 2, it's cold, so they need to sleep. Number 3, the bugs said stay with us. That means they are warm. And number 4, I wrote that it shows since they all flew away, that means they are no longer tired. Okay, so the word clue is a sentence given by the author in the story to help you understand what happened in the story or the events, okay? And that was it for today.